The ancient myths of Irish mythology, where gods walked among warriors, one figure stands cloaked in shadows and mystery. The Morrigan, goddess of war, mistress of fate, phantom queen. Today, we journey into her story, one of power, transformation, and death. The Morrigan is one of the most powerful deities of Celtic mythology. Her name, derived from Old Irish, means Great Queen or Phantom Queen. But she is far more than a singular goddess. She is often seen as a triple goddess, composed of Morrigan, Bad, and Macha, sometimes also joined by Nimain. She belongs to the Tuatha Dé Danann, the supernatural race of beings in Irish lore, known for their divine power, connection to nature, and fierce presence in battles. The Morrigan is a shape shifter, often taking the form of a crow or raven, flying above the battlefield, watching, waiting, and deciding. These birds are just symbols of death. They are messengers of fate. Morgan, also often described as wearing black or blood red with wild hair and eyes that see beyond the veil. Her symbols include crows, swords, rivers, and blood, all tied to her dominion over war, life, and death. The Morrigan appears in several key Irish myths. One of the most famous is her encounter with the hero Cu Chulainn in the Tain Bu Qualmgen, or cattle raid of Cu. The Morrigan plays a mysterious but pivotal role in the fate of hero Cu Chulainn. She first approaches him in the form of a beautiful woman, offering her love and support during his defense of Ulster against the armies of Queen Med. However, Cu Chulainn rejects her, not recognizing her divine nature and focused only on the battle. Angered but not out of petty vengeance, she seeks to fulfill her role as a weaver of fate. She returns to him in a series of shape-shifted forms, each designed to disrupt him during his key moments of battling or combat. First, she becomes an eel in a river to trip him. Then, she turns into a wolf, stampeding cattle to distract him. Finally, she appears as a red heifer, charging him in the middle of the fight. In each form, Cu Chulainn wounds her without knowing her true identity. Later, she returns as an old woman milking a cow with 3 broken ribs. This same number of injuries he inflicted upon her in her animal forms. She offers him 3 drinks of milk, and with each blessings, he unknowingly heals one of her wounds. At the end of his life, after suffering fatal wounds in battle, Kuchulain ties himself to a standing stone to die on his feet. As he finally succumbs to his injuries, the Morrigan appears once more, but this time as a crow, perched on his shoulder. Her presence confirms that his death has come. She does not cause his death, but she witnesses it, marking the moment when fate has run its course. The Morrigan's power is not only about destruction, it is about transformation. She is the storm in the stillness after. The battlefield in the fertile soil that follows. Though often feared as a harbinger of death, she is equally the force that clears the way for new beginnings. In her, we see the raw truth of nature, that endings are essential for rebirth. The Morrigan is a goddess of fate, yes, but also of sovereignty, prophecy, and renewal. Her blessings are not given lightly, but when granted, they carry immense strength and clarity. In some tales, she bestows kingship, marking the true leader with their favor. In others, she appears at the edge of battle, whispering courage or doom. And yet, even as a figure of war and death, she embodies the sacred cycle of life: maiden, mother, and crone, creation, sustenance, and dissolution, endlessly turning the Trinskalayan. To follow the Morrigan is to embrace change, to accept that death is not an end. It is a threshold, a necessary step in the journey of becoming. Though ancient, the Morrigan's legacy lives on. She appears in fantasy, novels, role-playing games, and modern media. She's often depicted as a dark sorceress or a powerful queen, commanding death and storm. To many in the modern pagan and goddess spirituality communities, she is a deity of independence, resilience, and unapologetic power. Artists, authors, and seekers are still drawn to her mysterious presence. The Morrigan challenges us. She is not comfortable, she is not soft, but she is honest. In her, we see endings, but also rebirth. We see war, but also wisdom. We see a goddess who doesn't ask for your fear, but for your respect. In a world where it constantly changes, she reminds us that transformation is not only inevitable, it is divine. Thank you for walking this path with me into the myth and mystery. If the Morrigan spoke to you today, share your thoughts or explore her stories further. Until next time, may your path be watched by wise wings.